Like, I wanted to hate so bad, but oh no.
We're champs, baby. What can you do? We're just champs. I don't know what else to do. Me, Tyler Kolek, Timmy Chalamet.
Cheers, buddy. Congratulations.
The New York Knicks are NBA Finals champs. I don't think I ever thought that was going to be a sentence I ever uttered in my entire lifetime.
No,
at all. I don't know what to do with myself. All of my friends over at TKW, the Knicks wall, congratulations. They are lighting people up. The bookmarks are out today. They are lighting people up. Sean is literally murdering people. Becky Hammond is very much the priority target on this one. She's getting lit up from all angles by Sean. Shout out to Kyle, Bailey, Corbo, Matt Spinley, Aaron, all the people over at TKW, my lovely people at the Knicks wall. Congratulations. Congratulations to the Knicks. Congratulations to Timmy Chalamet, Spike Lee, Ben Stiller. This was for all of the Knicks of the past. Carmelo Anthony, Patrick Ewing, John Starks, all of the relevant, Allen Houston, Mace, Charles Oakley, all of the legends, and also for the non-legends, Lance Thomas, Alonzo Trier, Frank Ntilikina, Kyle O'Quinn. We can throw him in there. Ron Baker, Karl-Anthony Early, all of those 2015 to 2020 Knicks roughly. This is for Julius Randle. This is for Coach Tibbs. This is for everyone. The New York Knicks are NBA Finals champs, and I can't believe it. I can't believe that we're doing this. Welcome to the Apollo NBA show. I am your host, Tom Strickman, joined always by Josh Garcia. The OG squad is back today.
We are back, baby. I just wanted to come on here, congratulate you, be the first, last, and who knows when to congratulate you. You are just ecstatic over there. The Henny on deck, Apple Ciroc, key to success.
Key to success, people are saying.
I totally forgot about the cigar situation. Give me a run through on this cigar, man. what are we rocking?
It's just no free ads, but Mississippi State, Bocock Brothers. So they have this branded thing. I don't know if that, see? So it's got all the Mississippi State stuff. I've got a box over here, but it's a Mississippi State baseball box. Shout out to Bocock Brothers. I believe they're a Louisiana brand down in the Bayou. Big Houston Astros, LSU fans, but they have a lot of the SEC teams. So I didn't want to pull out the actual like good cigars I have in there just for a prop. These aren't bad ones. I've got some good ones in there. I didn't want to use those for a prop because I'm not actually going to smoke tonight. Maybe I will. Who's to say? Let's see where the bourbon takes me, but anything could happen. Josh, I have a lot of notes here on this game, specifically Game 5. Obviously, the New York Knicks, Finals champs, 94-90 in Game 5. We were talking pre-show. This was the best 5-game series ever.
Yes.
There's no comparison. We looked up the Heat versus Thunder 2012 series with the big three, LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, and the young big three. And that was the closest one that we could think of. There was 42 points was the margin of victory total in those 5 games. I think it was 12 in these 5 games. So it's not even close.
No. That was one of the best series I have personally ever seen. Obviously short series that I've ever seen. Same thing. A lot of notes here. I want to give a couple shout outs to Steve Novak, Steve Francis, Samuel D'Alembert. I want to give a shout out to Deuce
Marcus
McBride
Camby.
for, I don't know. Yeah, Marcus Camby, sure. Deuce McBride, NBA champion Deuce McBride, brother. Great.
He's having a time.
It was the best thing ever, seeing that Garden crowd every time Deuce would shoot a three, just scream Deuce and just brick. But
doing it on the road too.
Yeah. MSG South, some are calling it. So
it didn't matter where they were playing.
I don't know. Stone, I'm gonna let you take the wheel. Obviously, this is your second team. This is your second most important championship basketball wise. I think you should relish in it, enjoy it. Give me something.
Yeah, I followed this team very closely through the 2021-2022 season. I was with the Knicks well through 2020. Left, started with Apollo in 2020, did this thing, like whatever. Moved to Texas, fall away from the Knicks a little bit. But, Jalen Brunson, like I didn't love him as a Mav. And I think it was because of the fit with Luka. They didn't work well together. And like, I have a take. Brunson and Kyrie has become a conversation now on Twitter. Which one would you rather have? Kyrie is like 6'3". Brunson is most definitely 5'11". They do similar things, right? They can get a bucket down low. They can get a bucket in the mid range. They can create their own three. They're really good shot creators. And Kyrie obviously has the dribbles and some other thing like the handles and the layup package and all these things that Brunson may not have. They do a lot of things similarly. I think Kyrie's still a better fit with Luka in that Dallas situation than Brunson was. We saw what happened with the Brunson-Luka one. They went to the Western Conference Finals. Brunson leaves. They get Kyrie. They end up going to the finals. So they win a little bit better. As a 1A option, as a number one guy on a team, I'm taking Brunson 100,000 times out of 100 over Kyrie.
Kyrie's got the intangibles. I think Kyrie has the creativity.
Yeah.
I think he's levels ahead of Brunson in regards to creativity on the floor, not with shot making, but on the floor.
Yes.
At this juncture, yeah. I mean, Brunson played his ass off. He kind of got bailed out, I think, that last game a little bit. Didn't he put up, 43 that last game?
Brunson put up 45 on 52% shooting.
Yeah, that last game really saved him because I think there was about it might have been game 2 to game 4 was a strange stretch. I think he putting up a lot of shots.
Well. Yeah,
wasn't playing well, and all it takes is one game for all of those naysayers, all those messengers to be like, oh, I was wrong, and I'll sit here and tell you I was wrong about Brunson because I thought that he was going to keep playing like crap the entire series. I thought it was going to go 6, maybe even 7, and here we are, Knicks 1-5, and I was wrong. I did not think this Knicks team could figure it out. And honestly, I was wrong about the entire thing. The OG trade. I don't know. I was
wrong about that too.
Yeah.
I made a whole video about that. I don't remember if it went on Apollo NBA or my own, but I made a video of me reacting to that with the Christmas tree in the background because we haven't taken it down yet.
It's like March.
Because I was like, where are they going to score? Because IQ was a big scorer. RJ was scoring a lot. OG not known for scoring at that time. Mm-hmm. Then he has obviously 3 straight games of just tremendous ball, 2 through 4. He was incredible. Has the tip of OG, the tip of God.
Tip of God, that's right.
Yeah, it's just that whole run. I was talking with Drew, I believe, about it, that we're big Bill Simmons guys. We read the book of basketball years ago, long time ago now, over 10 years, just I think when we read that book. But the very premise of the book is the secret of basketball. What is the secret to successful championship-like teams? And there's a secret. And he was talking to Isaiah Thomas about it. The Bad Boy Pistons, never had the best guy. Never, ever, ever. Isaiah Thomas, undersized. Bill Laimbeer, undersized. Joe Dumars, he was good. Mark Guire was awesome. They had all these parts that were really good, and it just worked well together. And then I saw a clip of, I believe, RJ, Richard Jefferson, and maybe Kevin Love, it was Amon Shumpert. And they're like, what was the success of that 2016 Cavs team? And he's like, understanding your role and just buying into it. Just knowing what your role was, and if you weren't going to play, you're just going to be the guy on the bench, hype the boys up, be the guy in the locker room and get that stuff going. If you're going to play 10 minutes, play those 10 minutes, balls to the wall, do your job and do it correctly. That was the secret for them. I think the Knicks had the secret. They understood what their role was after game 3 against the Hawks. After that, they lost 1 game in 51 days.
That is one of the strangest, most awesome playoff runs that I've ever seen, I've ever been a part of. And like you said, there was a guy, Jalen Brunson, obviously. Hell, you take any player on my team. If I could have 12 cats, obviously with different intangibles,
sure,
you take that 12 Jalen Brunsons, whatever the case may be. Every player was so vastly different in this series, and that's what wins you a title. I was even going to say, that's why I kind of bought in on the Rockets when they got Kevin Durant this season, because I was like, oh my God, we have Jeff Green. That's the bench guy. Guy that embraces the role. If you have 12, 15 guys on your team like that, hell, even if you have 10, and, you have a couple of assistant coaches that have bought in the program, some Rick Brunsons, not to give him any praise, nasty man, Rick Brunson, but Tiago Splitter, guys like that, who, we'll get into later, guys who lift the players up and top to bottom, obviously James Dolan is a crazy lunatic maniac.
Did you watch the video?
But no.
Okay. So the Roommate Show, Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson's podcast, they filmed Jim Dolan's speech to the team April 3rd, I believe, right before the playoffs. He hadn't talked to the team all year. He's like, I don't do this. This isn't something a normal owner would do, but I just feel like I have to get it off my chest. And it's a 15-minute video, 14 minutes and 33 seconds. I watched it today. I was sitting on the recliner. I was like, fuck it. I'll just watch it. Whatever. See what happens. Because you saw the report of James Dolan saying telling the players not to have sex for the 10 weeks during the playoffs. That's in there. He didn't really, he said it without saying it. But But it was a funny bit. That's like the really funny bit in there. Everything else is like, I believe in this group. I believe in each and every one of you. This is what me and Leon have been building for the last several years. This is why we fired Tibbs and we brought in Mike. Like, he's going through all of these things, and he's like, you have to commit to this and all these different things. And then at the end, or towards the end of it, the last few minutes, he's like, look, and when we get championship rings, because of your significant others, your spouse, your wife, your girlfriend, whoever it is, because of the sacrifice they're going to make for the next 10 weeks, we're going to get them a ring as well. Like, we're going to do all, like, he's buying rings for everybody. He didn't fucking care. He's like, this is all one family, and this is a crazy sacrifice. It was a lot about sacrifice and believing and this, that, and the other. And he named like 3 things that their game wasn't doing well. It was like offensive rebounds, turnovers, and something else. He's like, those are the 3 things you need to focus on in practice. Take practice, like, actually. And I was just like, Jim, this is not for you to say, but I kind of fired up after watching it. And it was like really crazy, because all the things that like Brunson and Hart and all these guys are talking about in interviews, like, was a lot of what James Dolan said in that speech. So I was like, they took it to heart and they went for it. And like, they are an incredibly talented team. Karl-Anthony Towns is one of the best big men in the game. Jalen Brunson, one of the best guards in the game. OG Anunoby is probably the best two-way player now in the game, it feels like.
Easy.
I mean, he's incredible. I can't believe he didn't make first team all defense.
He had a great series, definitely.
But I said that at the beginning. Like, when that all came out, I was like, there's no way he's not first team all defense. He's one of the best wing defenders in the game. And now he's out of the offense. And then like Josh Hart just plays his role perfectly. He doesn't care about scoring, but he'll make some threes like he did in game 5. Like, they just did everything for the team, for the betterment of the team, in order to win. And then they said, fuck Wemby at the end. So
they have 8 to 10 meshers. They have Brunson and Cat, obviously very great at their respective roles, probably top 5, top 7 at their respective roles and then positions. One thing I did want to get to, you brought up Wemby. I mean, this is kind of a perfect transition. I don't know where to start with this.
Do you want me to start with the run in the actual fourth quarter? So there's 7:43 left in the game. The Knicks are down 10 points. The Spurs are kind of just scoring whenever they want. Dylan Harper had just come out of the game, I believe, at this point. They're down 10-0. Wemby is still on the court. Wemby left for 59 seconds, I believe, in the fourth quarter. He stayed out there the whole time. Brunson goes on a 10-0 self-run by himself with 7:43 left in the fourth quarter to tie the game at 83. He had 3 free throws. It was the first free throw. He baited the guy into it, leaned into him. Like, you can complain about that call all you want, but like, don't jump.
It worked.
Don't leave your feet. And he got the 3 free throws. I think he makes them all. Or maybe he misses the first and then makes the next 2. I can't remember. Then he has a driving layup on Castle the next possession. The next possession is when he cooked Wemby for another layup, where he gives him an elbow on the side, but only after Wemby had already grabbed his arm and thrown it. And then kind of just, it's like 4 different stutter steps, and Wemby has no idea what to do. The unanimous defensive player of the year has no idea what to do with a 5'11" guard, where his arms are longer than Brunson himself. Cooks him for another layup. Then Brunson gets another 2 free throws next. And then he has a kind of a fast break where they're in transition. Everyone's kind of back. I think there's 4 defenders back. There's 4 Knicks up. Like, it was fast break-ish, but gets that layup on Vassell to tie it with 4:48 left. He went on a 10-0 self-run in less than 3 minutes.
That right there was immediately, I want to sound like LeBron. Yeah, I knew at that point. At that point, something was going to happen. Let me just say, Wemby, I've never seen a player play so frustrated and this is the entire series. The only thing that could have possibly made it worse is if he was just constant heat checking and like fully playing like just for his own selfish needs. And the entire series, he was getting pushed around, he was getting shoved, but also he was pushing around and shoving back. At this point, especially in the NBA playoffs, obviously this is his first big run. Obviously coming out of nowhere. 34 wins last season. What did they get? 65 or 62 this year? A bunch of wins. Anyway, NBA Finals appearance, all that. Wemby comes out in those 5 games. He's playing fine, not playing great yet. But once you start to see about probably midway to the second quarter, usually in most games, like past halftime in most games, he is just mad as hell, and he is like clearly showing it to the other team. Not just avoid the press conferences, avoid everything else after the fact of these games. In these moments in these games, I have never seen a player play so frustrated, play so mad. I understand that he's in a position where, he's 22, 23 years old. This is his first big run. We're going to look back on this in 10 years and be like, oh, thank God he's 33 and has no more knees. This fuckery is surely going to end soon, but then he's going to play till he's fucking 42, 43. I've never seen anything like that. And I think that was one of the most compelling outside of OG Anunoby, outside of Cat playing his role interestingly, outside of Brunson bombing, that last game. That was one of the more interesting things that I've ever seen in my entire time watching the NBA. I've seen players get fouled every single play. I've seen KD on the Warriors, and everyone was just mad as hell whenever they played them, especially the really bad teams. They would purposely go out and foul Draymond too. People forget it was a two-way street with Draymond, even though he would initiate a lot of these things. Mm-hmm. That's one of my biggest takeaways, and I'm really excited to see what ends up happening with Wemby.
Yeah, so looking at my Twitter feed, because I tweeted a lot of things. Brunson shoots a 3 with 5:30 left in the third quarter. He makes it. Wemby jumps up and lands in a space with his big-ass feet. And I get that he has big feet. But there's a side angle, and I saw the video today, and I don't know if I'm being able to find it to do a clip out of this, but there's a side angle where it's literally looking at Wemby and Brunson head on. You see the 3. You see Wemby go straight up and down. His feet are together, straight up and down. He sees Brunson kind of leaving his left foot out a little bit on the jump shot. Yeah, Brunson left it out a little bit, but Champagny did it all series. So whatever, give and take.
Yeah.
But he's straight up and down. And as soon as he starts to go down, he looks directly down to see where Brunson's landing his foot. And Wemby sticks his foot out. So that's a flagrant. If Wemby didn't get a flagrant out of that, hell on earth. Like the whole world is like screaming at this because he would have been suspended for game 6. It don't have to ever talk about it again. But like seeing that, and then the shove on Brunson earlier in the series, the double headlock on Jose Alvarado and throwing him to the side in game 1, like the things were adding up and up and up. And he landed on Josh Hart's space too, I believe, in game 3, the game that they won, I think. It could have been game 4, but either way, like there were so many different instances of like reasons to not like this guy. And the best one is when he's yelling at Mitchell Robinson and saying, "I'm in your head," and then loses a 29-point lead because he used all of his energy in the first half. That Shaolin monks ain't doing shit for you, Wemby. Get in the motherfucking gym. Get on the treadmill. Go run some sprints on some hills and get the conditioning up. Because if you're not able to play 40 minutes as the number 1 guy on your team, you ain't winning shit. You're just not. You have to be able to get up to that level and be able to sustain it for a 40-minute time period in the NBA Finals. I mean, hell, let's look at the fucking box score. 39 minutes from Josh Hart, 38 minutes from Mikal Bridges, 41 minutes for Mr. 5'11" Jalen Brunson, MVP. Like, I can't believe that he played 37-52, 3 minutes less than all of these guys, 4 minutes less than all these guys. And he's more tired than everybody. It was like Anthony Edwards when he was on oxygen when Kyrie Irving was running fucking circles around him in the Western Conference Finals. Like, this shit happens to young guys, and I get it. He might level up, but he was absolutely bitch made this series. And all the PR has gone down on people that were not Knicks fans, that are just NBA fans. Casual NBA fans are starting to hate this guy.
Yep.
It's a dream come true for us Texas basketball fans over here. Like, we hate the Spurs. We hate Victor Wembanyama. Like, I know you didn't hate him, but like there's a lot more dislike now for this guy across the NBA world because of how he acted in this series, what he said in the press conferences, what he did on the court without getting punished for any of it. Brunson gets a fucking flagrant foul for jumping away from Champagny, and Champagny just lands on him. But Wemby can do whatever the fuck he wants. Doesn't make people like you just because you get away with things. And then talk shit in the media. Oh, we're going to win the next 3. I have no doubt about that. And then you lose the immediate next one and see ya 1, 2, 3 Cancun. I saw you in the hospital talking to kids today. The PR ain't going to help you, buddy. It's just not going to help you.
Oh, Ether. That was great. Stoney, you let it out.
Insane.
5 games is all it took. During that Thunder series, I was rooting for Wemby because it was like, it almost felt like, it felt like David versus Goliath in a way, even though obviously no J-Dub, whatever the situation may be, Ewing theory, J-Dub, whatever. That was
that goes out the window because they didn't win.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that was a really important series, and I loved every minute of that. However, the 5 games that we have just seen, the week and a half of basketball that we have just seen, the 2 weeks, whatever it was, I've never seen everybody just turn on someone like that. Obviously, there's probably 40% of Americans that still love Wemby, whatever the case may be.
Sure.
Hell, like I said, 2 weeks ago, I was a fan of him. Obviously, not a fan of the Spurs. I've always said until they beat us in a playoff series, I'm not going to support Wemby. However,
the celebration after Game 7.
Oh my God!
We're like, this guy kind of rules. Like maybe he's just good for basketball.
He was crying.
We were all saying.
I viewed it as beautiful. People were like, man, that was his finals, whatever the case may be. You know, obviously people were saying that when he was down.
Turns out it was.
2. No, that's right. That's right. People were saying after Game 2, like, oh, he was in way too deep. His head was in too deep. And obviously it seemed like it was, you know, looking back on it. I didn't really buy into that. I was like, if he's really about it, he can come back from, you know, 0-2. Like I've seen it happen before. Obviously two home games, that's demoralizing. And then you combine that with the 29-point lead. Buddy, that was
unbelievable.
A shit show showing. Now,
and then missing the free throws in Game 4, like you're the guy, and this is the whole conditioning thing. You should just be able to step up there and make a free throw or 2. If you make a free throw, it's a 2-point game. You go to overtime. There's still time to get that one back and still win it. Like I know the Cavs, we had no fucking shot of doing that in Game 1 in the Eastern Conference Finals, but that's the Cavs. You're the Spurs. You got Wemby. You got Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper, by the way, NBA's next superstar. I mean, that guy's fucking unreal. Bro.
I was just gonna say briefly. I think that it's very poetic. Dylan Harper's entire series that he played. It was. I've never seen a player play that fast. I've never seen a player play that confident. But for it to all end, after all that being said, miss a layup, miss 2 free throws, game over. That was incredible. Oh my goodness. Now Dylan Harper will absolutely be one of the best players coming out of that draft. Besides what, Cooper Flag? I'd say
it's Coop, and then VJ's on a completely different tier now. And Con.
Yeah.
They're in a completely different tier. It's Flag and Harper right now. Because I was thinking the whole series, I was like, damn, Harper's going crazy. I can't imagine what Cooper Flag would do right now. Because I feel like it would be a lot of this similar things. You're like, holy shit, this kid's 20, this kid's 19. Like,
the confidence. I mean, that's what I love the most. The confidence on Dylan Harper. Obviously, the shots not necessarily there. He had a couple games. I think he shot like 5 for 18. I'm thinking
he
of
had
game
a booty
3, maybe game 2.
Yeah.
So I understand. Obviously, you know, like I said,
10 of 19 in Game 5 in a fucking elimination game. He was 2 of 4 from 3.
He killed. And of course, there's a couple moments there that just, you know, ate him alive. Stephon Castle with the turnover situations. Like, you look at that young team and you're going to say, fuck, there's no way that they can't win 65 games like almost every year for the next 8 to 10 years, assuming that let's just say they keep everybody. Obviously, they're probably not. Everybody played their role. Celtics. Yeah. Everybody played their role really well. Champagny played great. You know, if I were to give anybody credit here, Champagny was awesome that series. I think Vassell really played his role. Obviously, he's one of the older guys, him and Keldon Johnson, in comparison to the rookies and the second-year guys.
Yeah.
I loved it. Pretty much everybody besides Carter Bryant, you know, played really, really well.
But even Carter Bryant played well for the 3 minutes he got.
There, I was gonna say, I think it might have been the last 2 games. You know, he was a little scary, but like I said, these guys are 19, 20 years old. Wemby had a weird series. I don't think that he played terribly. I think that he played flustered. He played scared. He played
unsure of himself in the second half.
Yeah, he played unsure, and I think that there was a couple moments there. He was banging like 28-footers. I was like, oh my god, like what is this series gonna come from this? And obviously, we know now, but this is going to be fun. The parody continues. I think
a third of his shots in the series were 3-pointers. And I'm just like, I understand he's a good 3-point shooter. He's not a great 3-point shooter, but he's a good one.
Yep.
I was like, you got to just like, they couldn't guard him down low. Like Cat was doing a very good job of what he could do. Mitchell Robinson wasn't as effective as we thought he was going to be and all these things. And he just took a third of his shots. But we're talking about Dylan Harper. I have all this written down. Dylan Harper misses layup with 27 seconds left to tie it. It wasn't a wide up open layup, but it was a fast break layup, and he had the angle, and he'd been making that a million times out of a million. We
expected that at that point. Yep.
Yeah, I was like, fuck, here we go, tie game, because it was 90-88 when he misses that layup. Then Hart gets to the free throw line right on that next possession. I believe he goes 1 of 2, so it's 91-88. The next possession, I believe, might be the Mitchell Robinson.
The rebound of his life.
Yeah, it might be the Mitchell Robinson, because OG then goes 1 of 2 from the line. And then the next possession, Bridges goes 1 of 2 from the line. Robinson rebound was with 26 seconds left. So, yeah, it was right after the Hart one. They come down, they miss another one. I can't remember if it was Harper or if it was Castle, but OG goes 1 of 2 from the line. And it's still like within reach. You're like, what the fuck are we doing here? Harper missed 2 free throws with 9 seconds left to make it a 1-point game. 93-90 was the score. He missed both free throws. OG then goes 1 of 2 from the line again. You had 4 opportunities to put this game out of reach, and everyone went 1 of 2, 50% from the line for 4 straight free throw line trips. They went 4 of 8 to close the game there. And then Wemby misses a 3. Knicks won their first title since 1973 with Mike Breen on the call. Like, I just lost for words for Mike Breen, because I've watched a lot of Knicks games on MSG Network and listened to Mike Breen a lot of times just on MSG Network. And then you add in the ABC and ESPN games. So he's the voice of our NBA childhood and into our adulthood. Like, whenever he ends up retiring, it's going to be very strange to hear someone else on that call. So congrats to Mike Breen, honestly, for being a fan since he was 7 years old of this team and slogging it out for the last 20 plus years with the Knicks. It was a really cool moment, but the end of the game was fucking pure chaos and no one wanted to make a shot at all. It was terrifying the entire time, because that was game 5. They go back to San Antonio for game 6. I have no idea what that looks like.
Say anything could happen at that point. Mike Breen, man, the voice of a generation, damn near. It feels like, someone who's been around, like you said. I just think it's great. 53 years, obviously. Hey, you only got 38 more for your Mavericks, so we're almost there. Almost at the halfway point, big dog.
Don't do that.
It's gonna happen soon. I'm grateful, man. The parity, like we've spoken about, we saw the graphic. I'm sure you saw it. Every NBA champion since I think it was like 87 or 85, up until like 2016 or 2017. Only like 6 teams won it over the course of like 30.
Like Lakers, Bulls, Pistons, Celtics, Heat, Warriors, Spurs. Yeah. That was it.
That was it. Like a couple Rockets, couple Cavs in there. Or
a couple Rockets and a Cav. Yeah, and a Mav. Yeah.
It was scary, man. Like I said, the parity has made this league interesting. I think that obviously, we're in a great scenario, great situation. We can look back on this in 20 and 30 years after a couple dynasties have already passed us, and we'll be like, damn, I'm glad we got to see that, because honestly, that is what makes, let's say, even baseball or hell, even football, like, teams that, don't repeat as much, and when they do, it makes it that much more impressive. Obviously, we understand when there's dynasties and they win 3 and 4 years, we look back on it with either madness or fondness, depending on where you're at. Obviously, we look back on that Warriors team pissed, to this day. But I'm very grateful. I think the NBA is in a great place, and there's so many young guys who just go out there and give a fuck. It means something to me. Wemby might give a little too much of a fuck, but
we're not enough.
I'm happy for the Knicks, man. Shout out Alvarado, brother.
Shout out Alvarado, man.
New Orleans Pelican legend, man. Bring it back.
Shitty ass game 5, but hell of a game 4, buddy. Way to keep him alive there and way to start that run. He was terrible in game 5. I was sitting there, I was like, he's gonna make this, and he just didn't make any of them. I was like, that's tough.
There's a lot of NBA champs that I didn't think would ever be NBA champs, and a lot of them happen to be on this team. I thought Mikal Bridges wouldn't get one. I thought Brunson wouldn't get one. Thought Cat wouldn't get one. Yeah. Definitely thought that Alvarado and Kolick wouldn't get one. Deuce McBride, respectfully.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful thing.
Tough series.
Basketball is a beautiful thing. Dude.
Did you see Mikal Bridges on live today on IG?
Yes.
For the hockey fans out there, Alexander Ovechkin finally won his first Stanley Cup in 2018. It had been 15 years or so since he had been drafted by the Caps and had gone through the Sidney Crosby years where they won 3 titles and all these things. He finally won one, and he's Russian. Like he drinks. He drinks heavy. He eats Cheetos and Coke and like stuff on the sideline, like on the bench during the game. Like he's a crazy person. I've never seen a drunker person after a celebration of a sports win for his team. Mikal Bridges is right there at 10 a.m. Just hitting tequila at 10 a.m. Like shots of tequila. Like not even just like sipping a margarita or anything. No, he's taking shots of like 818 Kendall Jenner's tequila, and he's hitting the Blanco Clase Azul, like the really good kind too, like the $1,000 bottle. Like he's just hammering it at 10 a.m. after they were on Good Morning America. Incredible.
OG Anunoby was too geeked, man. Like there was just multiple
higher than a kite
sitting there just
and never drinks either. And he got drunk after the game. Like he was drinking after the game.
That's important. You get one time if you're lucky in your life.
I do need to. Obviously, I'm gloating in this Knicks win. I'm very happy for my second team here. Welcome back, championship celebrations in the NBA after winning the finals, because they've been awful for several years now. Yep. The Celtics one was bad. You had Jason Tatum trying to recreate the Kobe picture immediately and texting him. Last year was the worst celebration I've ever seen in my life, NBA Finals wise. OKC just like didn't know what to do. They weren't really jumping around and yelling or dumping champagne on anyone. They were just like, they cracked open a beer and they're like, and Jalen Williams, not J-Dub, the other one, tall one, like cracked open a beer and drank, and he's like, I don't like that. Like,
yeah, they're trying to be cool.
The most subdued, like, yeah, that was cool kind of thing. The Knicks, they wanted it and they went hard. They went really hard in the locker room, and I appreciate
that. They let the cringe out, and I think that's important. I think that might say something about our society changing back. Everybody's, stop trying to be so cool. Just let it out. Be you. It's cooler to be you than try to be cool.
Yeah, and we're not in second apron hell yet. I think they start that next year for the Knicks. So like they have another 2 year. They have a 2 year second apron window where they could just kind of ball out, and James Dolan might just spend all of his money. I saw a report today that the Knicks really started to dial in, and they wanted to say thank you to the Sphere for taking James Dolan away from them for a while, because that was his focus. Because MSG owns the Sphere in Vegas, right. So he put a lot of time and energy into that. So he just was away from the Knicks, and all of a sudden Leon Rose built a giant.
Weird domino effect, but sure. I'll roll
shout out the Sphere, man. Shout out the Sphere. God, what a run. What a series. They went 16-3. One of the most dominant playoff runs we've ever seen. I understand the competition. It happens. But most of these dominant playoff teams that we've seen, the plus minus and all that shit, Cat has the highest plus minus of anyone in NBA history in the postseason.
What?
Plus 258.
What?
You could take away the 51-point win, and he would still be higher than KD, who's the highest at 2017 at like 230 something. Yeah,
we need to abolish that stat immediately just because of that.
It's insane. Like Cat has the highest plus minus in playoff history. He's the first like big man to shoot 50, 40, 90 in the playoffs too. Like
that was a fine run though. There was no major crazy injuries. Obviously, I think they said something funny. They're like I think Jack McVay on the Hawks was hurt or something like that. They're like, oh, asterisk. But this feels pretty asterisk-less for the most part. Obviously, the Spurs didn't have to deal with J-Dub, whatever the case may be. I think at full strength, the Thunder would have beat this team, but, shoulda, woulda, coulda, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. This is a real deal championship. There is no real asterisk to me.
No, I think you look at the Hawks, like they were very healthy. They had all their best players. TJ McCollum played like a god the first 3 games. And like, you run through them. Then the second round, you just had kind of no issues. Joel Embiid was out, so there is the injury. But it's like if Joel Embiid's playing at the rate he was against the Celtics for 2 games, like does that get them 2 wins? Maybe, but I don't think it gets them any more than that based on this team. And then they just ran through that Cavs team who had everybody and all their all-stars and everything. Yep. Just ran through them after the game 1. Crazy overtime, 22-point comeback. And then, you play the Spurs. And the other thing that we look at this in 30, 40 years, we're going to look at this Knicks team and they're going to be number 1 in like net rating and offensive rating and all these things for a playoff run and plus minus all that shit. And everyone's going to be like, well, every team they played after the first round came off a 7-game series. Take care of business.
Wouldn't have to worry about the problem.
Take care of business. The 08 Celtics went 7 games in every single series. They ended up winning the title.
Did they really? Wow.
Until I think the finals. I think the finals went 6, right?
Wow. Yeah.
So that's the only series that didn't go 7. They went 7 against the Hawks. So it's like Al Horford and Mike Bibby and Joe Johnson and those guys in the red, white, and blue uniforms. Yeah. Yes. They went 7 games against everyone, and they won 67 games or 68 games that year. They won a fuckload of games. Yeah. They went 7 games against everybody. Take care of business. Yeah. Get the fuck out of every round and just keep mowing on.
That's right.
Shout out the Knicks.
Shout out the Knicks. I think that seriously, you said it yourself. You look back at this run. I even look back on this run, just reminiscing like how we've been talking about right now. I'm like, holy shit. Also, correction, I did not mean to say Jack McVay. I meant to say Jock Landale for the Atlanta Hawks. Pardon me.
Rockets legend.
Yeah, Rockets legend. That's right. I'm just so thankful. People will say, I've said, you've said that the Eastern Conference stinks. The Eastern Conference stinks. They've won some championships. That's all I'll say. They've won some championships.
3 out of the last 5?
I think it's 3 out of 5. So
I mean,
something there.
Maybe it's something about beating teams up. Like in hockey, the Western Conference team hasn't won in a while because the Western Conference beat the shit out of each other on the way to the Stanley Cup final. But like hockey's different. Everyone's getting the shit beat out of each other.
The East is top heavy, and the East has been top heavy, I think, for a while. You know, you look at the top 3 and 4 teams. You know, they're tiers and miles better than the bottom 4, the bottom 6, however the play-in format, whatever. I think we can look back at this and have different conversations. West versus East. I think every year, especially every trade deadline, we'll come on here and we'll talk. Other talking heads will talk, and they'll say, "Oh, the East stinks." You know, this person needs to get out of the East. That person needs to get out of the East. It's like they're winning titles. They're here. I mean, they
didn't say that when the Celtics won a couple years ago. The Celtics were that fucking good.
Yes, it is great for the game. The Celtics, man, that year was crazy, huh?
They were so good.
Yeah, damn, that is true.
In the regular season, playoffs, all the things. So, yeah, I think the Knicks run is not necessarily like the 2011 Mavericks, which a lot of people are pulling the comparison of like how heavy the ring is. I think it is that heavy just because of the city and the Garden and who you play for and all that kind of stuff in that sense. But the way that you went to your title, you didn't go through the Portland Trailblazers with like Brandon Roy, LaMarcus Aldridge, all those guys. And then you went right on to the OKC Thunder, I think, were the next ones. And you swept them. And then you swept Kobe coming off of 2 titles and Powell. Like you ran through some crazy all-stars. And then you went through the Heatles. Like that's a different run than what the Knicks did. But the ring means just as much. I think this team, if you could make a baby between the 2014 Spurs and the 2011 Mavericks, that's what this is.
You might be the first person to ever say that, but I don't hate that.
It's the meaning of the ring with the 2011 Mavericks and the guy, the captain of your team, Dirk and Jalen Brunson, like in that situation, like the way that guy meant to those specific cities. And then the 2014 Spurs is like, they just did everything right. Yep. You know, they played defense right. They passed the ball well. They had the guy to go score if they needed to, like all the things. They just did everything well and as a unit, well-oiled machine. I think the Knicks were that.
You want to stretch the comparison too? You can say OG and Kawhi, two-way guys. Yeah. I'm just saying.
You can throw that in there.
OG Anunoby is closer to Kawhi Leonard than he is Bruce Bowen. Would
agree.
Great run. What a run, yeah. Michael Finley now, yeah.
Was he on that team?
Just name guys, yeah.
Pretty sure he was on that team.
I think he was on the 07 team, but yeah.
It was the 07 team. And then 14 was that T-Mac? T-Mac was on the 13 team, wasn't he? And he retired and he missed it by a year. Fucking idiot.
Yeah, he was pissed. Yeah.
Just like Chris Paul. Just couldn't get one in the end. Fuck you guys.
You know, I will say the last thing on the Knicks for me, I think that Karl-Anthony Towns he played a little strange this series. Obviously, he wasn't crazy. To me, eye test, whatever the case may be, efficient on offense. But the way he played on defense, the way he guarded Wemby for the most part was second to none. I don't think many guys can do what he did. We've gone from DeMarcus Cousins bullying him and that all-time picture,
which is really funny because he does score on that possession, which no one talks about. But the look is so bad that no one cares. No one cares.
All that being said, he comes to be a champion. I think that's a really beautiful thing. There's stories and inspiration in all of sports. I think this New York Knicks team compares to not many before them, and not to ride them too hard, but I think it's really important that we appreciate what we're seeing in front of us. I think that we don't get many championship teams like this, especially ones that have been in droughts like this. I think this is very comparable to the Seattle Mariners getting a crazy run and just doing the damn thing. Obviously, not as much history there compared to the Knicks, but it means something. So good for them.
Yeah, I don't know if there's another team in sports that could go win a title and like unify a city. The way that New York City has just been like, let's go Knicks in 4, Knicks in 5, world champ Knicks. Like they're just
the Bears would be the closest. I think it would be the Bears.
Maybe, yeah, that might be one. And they were 1985, so another 12 years after. So, it's just an incredible run. And Patrick Ewing saying like this, I'm happier now. Like I'm happier in this moment than I was more disappointed and sad in 99 and in 94. He's like, I'm happier in this moment than I was sad in those 2 moments.
They did lose twice in 5 years. I always forget they played the Rockets in 94. That's right.
And then the Spurs in 99. Flip-flopped it. So, fun story for me, personally. My wife was born in 99, the last time the Knicks and the Spurs played in the finals. My son is about to be born next month in the year that the Spurs and Knicks played in the finals, and the Knicks won it this time.
Whoa.
Good vibes.
Great vibes over there. That means you're going to be a grandpappy the next time the Knicks win. Knicks play the Spurs in a championship game.
That's not bad. 25 more years or so.
Yeah,
30 years. I can do that. Be like 60. Be fine.
Yeah.
Where do the Spurs go from here with De'Aaron Fox? Do we do anything?
Find a team suckerable enough.
The Houston Rockets.
That was my next sentence. I was like, if they actually give us, something, I would be a sucker.
Give up in that though.
It is a perfect storm, Sci-Fair ISD legend, the redemption arc. I don't know how we would fulfill that contract. I don't know if we would have.
You give him Tari and Bari.
No. They give us a lot for the contract.
You got to give him something to fix the money here.
Yeah, no, I know. I don't know how that would work. If it would be like a KD plus Bari. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Anyway, this is off-season talk. I think that he should.
We're in the off-season now.
He should have a reunion with the Sacramento Kings and just call it a day.
God, shout out to Mike Brown too, man. Got fired because he called Fox out in the interview for being dumb. Because he closed out, fouled a three-pointer. He's like, the one thing you can't fucking do is foul a guy at the three-point line right now at this moment in the game. And Fox did that, and he got fired the next day. And then they meet in the finals, and Fox had like 5 blunder moments, like one per game, where they kind of swung a giant part of the game.
Yeah, there was a lot of strange undertones to this series. I think this series clearly almost meant a lot more to the people actually playing it than the cities being represented. Obviously, you can perception's important. You can kind of deal with that how you want. I think that New York being in this situation, you don't get many moments like this, and for it to happen against De'Aaron Fox, for it to happen with Mike Brown as your head coach, the rose is just everything just aligns. Like, you're part in the Red Sea. It's such a beautiful thing.
God, that was such an incredible series, and now we don't have basketball for so long.
Hey, we have the Connecticut Sun and Olivia Miles, Caitlin Clark, baby. We are
Paige Beckers.
We're watching a bunch of WNBA on ION Network, baby. World Cup.
We can do that. Summer League's like next month. Is that next month? Late next month, maybe.
Yeah, like late July.
We do have the draft like probably next week. We could just Google that. We do have devices in front. When is the NBA draft? It's literally next Tuesday. So that's cool.
I have something interesting NBA draft related. I think that you might have seen this, but Darren Peterson, was this true? Darren Peterson only interviewing with the Wizards. What's going on there?
He thinks he's the number 1 pick, and he refuses to interview with anyone else, and I respect it.
He rocks, dude. He rocks.
Like taking 20 grams of creatine a day and just not drinking water, just refusing to drink water.
The Zion Williamson curse. I think the cramping situation, everything. Perfect.
I took creatine a day, and I've had like 90 ounces of water since then. Like I'm just like I know I'm okay. Yeah. Perfect storm to either being the best player ever or the worst player ever. So Anthony Bennett, watch out. We're getting shades of you already. Perfect parallel. Sam Bowie. Oh man, it's tough, man.
Yeah. No, I think Darren Peterson has that weird oversized guard, but still plays really well type situation. Yeah. I'm really intrigued to see kind of his skill set. Obviously, we couldn't see it too much in the tournament.
Creatine.
Same thing with the Bansta. Yeah, the creatine. That was what a weird year. I'm trying to remember the. Did Kyrie only play like 7 games at Duke? Yeah. There was a couple other weird like injury, strange situations, kind of seasons where we got kind of robbed. I feel like a lot of Calipari's teams always had some guys who ended up being like mid-level, mid-late lotteries.
Yeah, weirdly that Julius Randle team was like undefeated. They were literally undefeated all the way into the Final Four and lost to Frank Kaminsky. In Wisconsin, I believe, heading into the championship game where they ended up losing to Jahlil Okafor and Justice Winslow, I believe.
St. John's legend, dude. I got to see him in high school. He rocked.
God.
Yeah. What a time.
I had another thing. Fuck. I should have kept that up. I don't know if I bookmarked it. That could be a problem.
Uh-oh. Well,
I can get it really fast. I do want to point out one more thing about Jalen Brunson before we get to Tiago Splitter.
What a shot on that guy.
NBA players with an NBA title, an NBA Finals MVP, NCAA title, and Naismith College Player of the Year. Michael Jordan. Makes sense. Magic Johnson, makes sense. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, makes sense. Bill Walton. If you don't know anything about Bill Walton, makes sense. Jalen Brunson. End of list. That's it. Those are the only players on that list.
Wilt, Bam, Kobe.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, if Jalen Brunson just plays like 3 more years of the NBA, he completely surpasses Bill Walton's accomplishments outside of an MVP in the NBA. That's it.
Yeah.
I guess that's the other thing that Brunson, like you could add an MVP to this, and then Brunson is now not in there.
I don't know. In what world does Jalen Brunson win an MVP though?
He won't.
I don't see that ever happening.
I saw a start bench cut of Brunson, Luka, and Shea today on Twitter. I'm just starting Brunson.
Oh.
Because is the objective to win basketball games, or is the objective to be better at stats?
Hey, that's champ. That's champ right there. You're right. I'm wrong. That's champ.
Because I was seeing some shit, and they're like, "Oh, Brunson's not even a top 5 guarder in the NBA." And then I saw a lot of Harden Brunson chatter today, and I'm like, "Yeah, objectively, James Harden is a much better basketball player, like significantly even." I'm trying to win basketball games right now. I'm taking Brunson all day long. Doesn't matter when.
You can't argue.
We've seen Harden for 15 years, dude.
We have. You can't argue with champ. 18 years of James Harden, we have seen next to nothing. Obviously, some things being his fault, some things not being his fault. Most things being his fault. Shout out Trevor Ariza for Trevor Ariza hardly caught any strays for that 0 for 12 game 7, and
he already won a championship though.
I get it. I get it. It still stinks.
He won't be. Chris Paul was on that team too. That's the problem. The level of blame is not going to hit Ariza. The bullets are not. He's the soldier meme where he's taking all the knives for the kid on the bed. That's Harden and Paul, and Trevor Ariza is just sleeping soundly.
That's right. Like I said, man, it's been 8 years. Still won't get over it.
I wouldn't.
I think that there's so much beauty in this NBA, and I'm glad we got to see it with Jalen Brunson. However, I'll leave it at this. I could not pick him over Luka or Shea.
No.
But he won a championship, and he deserves my respect, and he will get my respect, and I will drop this topic. Thank God for the New York Knicks. Thank God for Tyler Kolek. Thank God for Deuce McBride. Deuce just
11
crap in the
finals,
bed,
baby.
Crap in the bed, but he's a champion. And that's what
he
matters.
just couldn't make a single shot.
Dude, it just every shot. It was just Deuce and just clank. Like,
oh God, it was so. He had, what did he have? The 3 in game 1 that came in within 2, or maybe took the lead. Even like that was it.
He had 3 out of 5 goose eggs with I think like 7 or more minutes played in every single game. Look, man, role players are gonna role player. I thought that he would be better. Shout out Deuce McBride. He won me some money this year, so thank God I didn't bet on him this postseason. But I'm thinking that I'm glad that he's where he's at. He's won a championship, and we can hopefully move forward.
Speaking of role players, shout out Huck Porty for coming in and having an alley-oop block like Giannis did in 21 on the Suns. It was the exact same play, and Huck Porty was playing the D on the 3 line. He's playing the 3-point line. He gets up. They throw it over to Cornette, and he makes it all the way back there to block him. It was like a 5-point game at that point too. Like Huck Porty played the most important 45 seconds of his life right then, and immediately got yanked because he absolutely fucked the offensive possession right after that. Incredible cinema.
Yep. Shit, chase down blocks butt.
God, what a series. That is it for the 2026 NBA season. We're into the offseason now, baby. And speaking of offseason, Tiago Splitter.
Yeah.
Hired by the Chicago Bulls.
Thank you, Tiago Splitter. You will single-handedly make Caleb Wilson's life skyrocket. I think that Tiago Splitter is probably the best thing you can do for this team, given his developmental history. I think that you have a guy, especially a overseas guy. Would you call him overseas guy? He's from Europe, right, or Bosnia or something?
I would assume
some situation. Right? He is not from America, and I think that guys like that.
He's Brazilian. Tiago.
He's not Brazilian.
No, I bet you he's not. But
okay.
Buddy, I might have some news.
Oh no.
Let's just see where this guy's from.
Okay.
Buddy, I have some news. He's so Brazilian. Tiago's the most Brazilian name of all time. Why did we not know that?
Okay.
No, like everyone in Brazil is named Tiago.
I thought there was a guy on France named Tiago in the World Cup way back when.
He's probably Brazilian.
I don't know. Probably, yeah.
With a French grandmother.
Yeah. Shout out what's his name? Balogun, is that his name?
Yeah. Florian.
Born in New York, but then lived in, shout out.
Shout out to that flight attendant that was like, yeah, you're not getting on this fucking plane.
the lady's just like pregnant as hell. You're like, no, you can't get on this plane, dude.
Yeah, you're not getting on a 9-hour flight. Are you fucking crazy?
God.
Yeah.
So big time. That's big time. Anyway, Tiago Splitter. I think that guys, especially younger guys, I guess you could say, in the grand scheme of things, what is he, 40, 42? Guys who are at that age, get the players a lot better. Obviously, we've seen kind of disaster classes. Steve Nash, you can even say Jason Kidd, Darvin Ham. Guys who are a little bit younger who try to come into the team and just shit the bed. But I think Tiago Splitter might be different. I think that there's kind of a different demeanor with the way he coaches.
In him.
And that's kind of what I'm getting at. I think once he gets that Spurs level, there's clearly levels to this, and I think that Tiago Splitter might be a great NBA coach. I don't see him not being one.
I thought he was awesome with Portland. I don't know why they didn't try to hire him, but they didn't want to pay him because they have the new owner, which is really funny. So the Carolina Hurricanes just won the Cup last night, and he's like traditionally the cheapest owner. Their arena is shit. The press room is shit. The locker rooms are all shit. For a team that's gone to the Eastern Conference Finals like every year for the last decade, it feels like they're just a really fucking good hockey team. He just refuses to like do anything, and then he gets to Portland and just like doesn't take the G League player, the two-way players with them on the road trip. He's like, "Oh, I didn't know." Like downgraded their hotels, all this shit. Like fired 20 something people right off the rip in the first week. Like cheap.
He's rebuilding the Delaware Blue Hens on NCAA Dynasty with no money.
Yeah, it's just so bad, dude. Like,
buddy, this is an NBA
I can't believe it. Like, and Tiago Splitter would be a first-time head coach. Like, you're signing to a 3 to 5 year deal. Like, you don't have to pay him all that much.
No, and what's crazy too is I believe he was a Bull for like 2 seasons. No,
he might.
I don't know.
I pull up the basketball reference.
That's off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure I remember him being in a Bulls uniform.
No,
like, okay,
sure didn't.
Okay.
If you were to tell me how long Tiago Splitter played in the NBA, how many years would you say he played in the NBA?
7, 8 years.
Yeah, see, I would have said like 11. He played 7 years.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Because he was in a Euro league from like 07 to 10. And then he came in 10, played through 17. He played for the Atlanta Hawks for a season, and then the Philadelphia 76ers before he retired. He played 8 games with them.
Demon centers, Tiago Splitter and Spencer Hawes on the
9.5 minutes a game. He was putting up 4 shots in that 9.5 minutes too.
The baller. He just don't give a damn. Fuck cardio. No cardio.
Yeah. Well, congrats to Tiago Splitter getting the Bulls job.
Yeah. Caleb Wilson's gonna be fun to tell on that team. Hopefully that's what happens. Hopefully no Acuff or Fleming's reach. I think that we'll get to the draft preview, but Caleb Wilson makes the most sense here.
Yeah, if you don't take Caleb Wilson or Darren Peterson or Cam Boozer in that situation, I have no idea what the order is. I'm fairly confident that Debanza is just going 1.
Yeah, he has to.
If he doesn't, the Wizards, they're going to run Anthony Davis into the ground after about 7 minutes into the season next year.
That's such malpractice, dude. That's like 85 Patrick Ewing levels of like fuckery. If AJ Debanza doesn't go to the Wizards. And he just like it just happens to fall to Utah. Like, no, dude, I envision Cam Boozer like falling in his father's footsteps, playing in Utah. I think that's great. I think that'd be great for the team.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I think Cam Boozer has just
that team would stink though.
He has just as high of a ceiling, I think, as Debanza. Very, very close ceilings, not just as high, but close.
If Utah does draft Boozer, do you just immediately trade Jaren Jackson Jr.?
Oh,
even though you just spent a shitload on him, or do you trade Laurie?
You trade Filipowski, or just let Filipowski walk whenever his contract is done.
Kessler, you could probably get a lot for Kessler.
I was going to say you could trade Kessler too, because Kessler's trade value. I'd love to have
get a first round pick or 2 at least out of that.
Yeah, Kessler's great. So there's something there. Filipowski, you're definitely out. Shout out the Mormons though. Remember that situation?
That was a shocking development for you guys. It was shocking for me when I found out too.
That was a crazy situation.
Shelly was like, "What are you talking about?
Are they still together? I hope
Pretty
so.
Sure. Yeah,
well, I don't know if I hope so, but here we are.
Yeah, shout out to Latter-day Saints.
That's right. The AJ Debanza picture at LDS Church. Like only NIL could do something like this. I think that was one of those
so crazy that
modern basketball pictures.
The owner of the Mammoth, is he also the owner of the Jazz?
I think so. What is his name? Like Ryan Smith, or it's like
that Ryan Smith, the most Mormon name of all time. Should have known. They got him to Utah in high school. They paid him in high school because you could pay high school players now, and moved him from wherever the fuck AJ's actually from to Utah for like 2 years before. And this whole scheme to try to be able to draft him, and they missed it by 1 pick potentially.
They groomed him. They groomed AJ DeBansta.
No, it was a whole plan to like put him at BYU to like make sure he likes the scene of Utah, so where they could potentially draft him later in the deal. Like, it was a whole thing. Like, they literally groomed him just like the Mormons do, to be a Utah Jazzian, and he's not. He probably won't be, unless the Wizards fuck it up. Then
see, that's the thing, is like, is there going to be some kind of like under the table situation, conspiracy? Tinfoil hat. I don't know.
Unless he pulls an Eli Manning, right?
Because how could he?
He could.
He could, but we haven't seen anything like this happen. In
Ace Bailey doesn't have that kind of pull.
Yeah, Ace Bailey.
What are we talking about, bro? Like Ace Bailey? We're talking about Ace Bailey, who's on the Utah Jazz, which is really funny.
Fully on the Jazz.
He's like, I'm going to Washington. Here we go. We could fix it right now. God. Ace Bailey in 2 and a future first for 1. You get a young player. You get the number 2 pick, which is still a great pick. You don't even know who the number 1 guy is here,
So, yeah, you're essentially getting the number 5 pick and the number 2 pick for the number 1 pick. That's okay. Or Kessler.
John Elway did it. Eli Manning did it.
2 more? I don't know.
Everybody can do it, right? I know that's football, but
it doesn't feel right because it hasn't really happened in modern sports. And
LeBron would have done it too if Memphis got the number 1 pick. He's not going there.
That's the thing, is like I could totally like look at it in different situations, or like, oh, if the roles were reversed, whatever. Like, yeah, this totally could have happened anywhere else, but the cards lie to the cards lie where the cards lie, and here we are. If DeBansta does not go to Washington or throws a pissy fit, I will be loving every second of it. I think this draft has really a lot of potential. The first like 8 to 10 picks are like really good at this juncture. I don't know if
we don't really know the order of anything right now. We have no idea what the Clippers are doing at 5. We don't even know who they've worked out really.
Is somebody in the top 5 going to reach for Acuff, for Flemings? Is somebody going to go for Wagler before Flemings and Acuff even go? Like, there's a lot.
Like all those, the Tennessee kid, like
there's a lot there. I think that the top 10 in this NBA draft potentially could be some of the best in years. Obviously, we look back on last year, the top 4, top 5 guys. But this top 10 is really strong. We're blessed.
I think it could be the deepest. Like, you've got role players, you got all-stars, and you got some all-NBA guys.
I think so.
You got a bunch of those.
There's 2 all-NBA guys minimum in this draft. It could be up to 4.
It could be 4, and it could be 5 because we just don't know about other people. Just like we did last year, where we're like, Continental, that's great.
Kingston Fleming's 18, 19-year-old crazy growth spurt, 5 inches, just
future Mav,
all NBA. Yeah, dude, I need to see Acuff or
Burries.
Flemings. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Burries would be cool too. It seems like Rich Paul's pushing that one. So, welcome back to small guard. So many GMs are going to lose their jobs after Jalen Brunson won an NBA championship right now. So many.
Small guards most of the time don't work out, but
certain ones do.
And some of them, certain ones, end up being NBA champions. And I think that is the most beautiful thing about basketball. You have guys who are 7'4", and you think, oh, they're going to run this damn league. And sure, Wemby might run this league eventually, but he didn't run this league sooner, or as soon as we thought. So good for us, right?
Yeah.
I love ball.
Just take winners, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, just lifetime winners. Jalen Brunson won in high school, college, and now in the NBA.
That has to count for something. That's
it is a mentality type of thing. Because not to toot my own horn, like, my swim team won state championships for the first time since like the 80s, I think, with my high school. We had a hub of swimmers. Like, we had a couple of Olympians that come out of our club team and all that kind of stuff in our high school. But like, they hadn't won a state championship. We won back-to-back my last 2 years. And then I went to a D3 school, whatever, that had never won their conference. We immediately won conference by the largest amount of the biggest gap of points in conference history my first year. And then we won again my sophomore year. And then they didn't lose again after that until the the school folded, literally folded. The school doesn't exist anymore, and they won every single men's conference championship since we got there.
Yeah, I could say I got a degree from there. That's awesome.
I can't. I dropped out, but
oh no,
yeah. I went to Mississippi State after that, but yeah, like I think there's something to that. There's a mentality about like doing something just because you're wanting to go win, as opposed to like I need to go get a bucket, I need to go get a rebound, and like there's got to be a purpose behind everything. Going to get the bucket like Jalen Brunson did. He did that he led the tournament in points per game, and then he just led the postseason in the NBA in points per game, and in both of those years he won a chip.
Yep. There you can kind of tell a difference between when a player is worrying about the now and when a player is worrying kind of about the macro of it all. And Jalen Brunson definitely feels like one of those guys. Like you see some of his plays in his game, it feels a little sloppy at times, especially when he doesn't get the right foul call or when he just bricks a shot, whatever the case may be. But then he'll come down and make a huge impact play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plays later, and you're like, well, everything's wiped out, whatever. And
irrational confidence in the fourth quarter.
There's not many NBA players like that right now. I will give Jalen Brunson that. I think that he is one of the most mentally tough NBA players right now, given what we have just seen. I don't want to go out on a limb and say anything too crazy, but I will definitely give him that, and I think that he deserves his flowers right now.
I said in our group text right after he won the chip, Brunson is our best Kobe disciple. Who else? Jason Tatum talks too much.
He does. He
talks way too much to be the best Kobe disciple. Devin Booker hasn't done it.
Nope. You know what?
I don't know who, like DeMar DeRozan. We're going to talk about fucking DeMar DeRozan right now.
Team success. Sure, I will give you that.
He won a chip, but he was also the best guy on the championship team, and also acted like Kobe in the press conferences without it being like super corny.
Yeah, and
some of those guys you can tell you're just trying to be Kobe. Jalen Brunson was just like, no, it's 0-0 mentality. Like I don't fucking care what happened tonight. Yeah. After the game 4 29-point comeback, he literally gets to the press conference and immediately starts talking about a kid that lost his life to a battle of cancer that he had just FaceTimed like a week before. He didn't talk about the game right off the rip. He said, hey, before we start, I just want to give a shout out to whatever his name was, rest in peace, obviously. But like talked about that for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes before anyone was able to ask a question. It's a completely different mentality than a lot of people.
Yeah. It's a one-of-one type situation.
Yeah.
Like I said, to me at this juncture, not the best guard, not the best player, but probably the most mental wherewithal out of a lot of these guards and a lot of these players in the NBA. And like how you said, I think that, there's a lot of intangibles that you can't really take away from the guy. And like I said, all flowers to him.
And Kobe was the best Michael Jordan disciple. So like,
sure.
Everyone comes from somewhere. Yeah. Everyone copies something.
Yeah, I was gonna say the NBA family tree. That'd be a fun off-season topic. We do a little family tree situation.
Family trees of like, is it the goats of like certain archetypes? Maybe.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking like
a shooting guard archetype.
I'm thinking of Sam Bowie, Michael Olowokandi, and Anthony Bennett, like a bust family tree.
Because like, who would come after Hakeem? Anyone?
Ooh. Tim Duncan was kind of close sometimes. He would do a lot of like shakes and stuff.
Maybe it was Duncan because he wasn't the center, but he was like a really fucking good defensive player, MVP champ.
The very sneaky footwork. Like people don't talk about Tim Duncan
player growing up in swimmer.
They don't talk about his footwork the way that they should. I think that he deserves a lot of credit.
And then was it like Dwight Howard for 4 years? It's different, but best rebounder, best defender. I think that's fun. John Stockton to Chris Paul to who? John Stockton to Steve Nash to Chris Paul to who?
I was going to throw Jason Kidd in that situation.
Yeah,
but they kind of came up.
Different
styles.
Came
up the same year. Different styles for sure.
Yeah, Kidd was just
Rajon Rondo a little bit.
Maybe Rondo's in there with Paul, same time frame, and then like after that, it kind of dies. Like there's not really been anyone since then. Like Steph Curry is now an archetype. Who's going to be the next one?
We could do this for an hour and a half. We should delve this in
archetype family tree. I like it, and it starts with one player because it's like, oh, that's that one guy. So maybe it's Bob Cousy, and then we got to go all the way down and meet him to John Stockton through all those decades.
Elite visual. That'd be great.
Pete Maravich to Kyrie Irving. Handles and can shoot from anywhere. I like this. This is a July conversation, but I think we found one. We gotta put this in the notes. But that'll do it. Josh, thanks for joining me. I know it's been a minute since you've been on, but I appreciated the OG Zero Gravity Apollo NBA show duo. That was fun.
That's right.
Champs.
I love it. Shout out to Knicks, man. Shout out to you, White Boy of the Year. You got to be top 3 at this point. Top 5 in some circles, but I'll give you top 3. I'm a little biased.
What do you want me to do? Like, guys, I can't help it that Timmy Chalamet and me and Tyler Kolek are all cousins.
Hey, that's right. Yeah, very, very similar vibe.
Something like that. Shout out to the Knicks. What a series. What a season. What a fun season on the Apollo NBA show. Make sure you hit that subscribe button wherever you get podcasts on audio platforms like Apple, Spotify. We have video on Spotify as well. Make sure to hit the subscribe button on YouTube at Apollo NBA show. We're going to be a little bit more sparingly throughout the offseason, once a week. We'll make sure to get some content out. Obviously, we have the draft coming up, so we're going to do probably 2 that week. We'll have a preview coming on Monday next week, and then we'll do a recap episode probably Thursday later in the week. And then you also got free agency, so maybe we'll do a free agency preview and a free agency recap a few days after that settles. But yeah, we're going to have summer content all summer long, and then we're going to get into this archetype thing because I have to do that now. I'm going to start building that out like a web for us to all look at and fill in. That's going to be fun. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we'll be back very, very soon with another episode of the Apollo NBA Show.